hunting channel. Today I want to talk to you the 6th of July on what me and my wife decided to get. We've been telling you all about it. As you can tell by the title, we got the 10 Point Siege RS410. And let me tell you what, it was well worth the wait. I shot a video earlier outside shooting it. I got my shirt all wet and sweaty. I tried to make the video outside and it was very complicated due to the heat and everything, and the sun and everything. So before I get started, there's several people that I really need to mention for 10 Point. On that note, I am a 10 Point fanatic now. I will stay with 10 Point. Hold on for a second. Let me take off my nice 10 Point hat here and throw it on the table. There we go. Gotta wipe my hair down, right? So I started with 10 Point back in January when my friend Bob told me about the Wicked Ridge series, and he was talking about the Wicked Ridge 400 and I got the 360. Price difference, that's all it was. Bob did good by telling me, got a hold of 10 Point, and like I said, I talked to several people and got acknowledged, and I want to acknowledge these people now. As me and my wife made a trip up to 10 Point a few months ago and got to meet the people firsthand, and let me tell you, it was well worth the trip, and we'll cover more of that in a minute. First of all, Randy Woods, Director of Customer Relationship. The guy was outstanding. I met him the first time when they first opened up about 9 o'clock or so. He came out, introduced us, and then he had a conference to go to, which I understand he's kind of a head dog there, right? He came back out and helped me out on the floor, showing me about the Steady Eddie, how the different crossbows were operating, and then we actually took them back and shot them. And I really appreciate Mr. Woods. Him and his entire team. I wish I had a team like him. I mean, you could not have picked better people from him all the way down to the lowest guy in the assembly line. I know they're all good, even though I haven't met each and every one of them. When I was up there, they all had smiles and they were all moving around. But I want to recognize a few of the people right now. Julia Snellbaker. I hope I pronounced your name really. Most outstanding person I've ever met in my life. She's the one that I started with 10 Point. She's the one that called me when I just text her a question about the Alpha Nux, and from that time on, she has my number and I have hers, and we constantly exchange talks and emails. And you could not have asked for a better person in customer service relationship. From the time she started working on the assembly line, doing triggers, if I remember right, to where she moved to about a year or two ago, up to customer relationships. She is the ultimate person to deal with up there. I mean, you can never go wrong with Julie. Then I met Bryan Zabowski. I hope I pronounced your name, Bryan. I do apologize. He does all the videos that I see on YouTube. How to cock this thing, how to decock it, the different crossbows, how to bore sight the thing. I mean, he covers everything. He's the technical portion of this crossbow, in my opinion. He too also started. He's been there a long time. And with his fearless Barbara Taylor, a veteran, thank you, Hua. And she's behind the camera. She does all the customer relationships, training, education. Of course, she coordinates all the shows and all that the 10 Point people go to. And then I met Julie Kelly, another outstanding person. She actually called me once and texted me because we couldn't understand that I needed the botanical, whatever that is, the rail up here, okay? I couldn't get it. I didn't have it, and they sent it back to me because they forgot to put it in the box. No big deal. I got it. I'm not going to put it on my wife's crossbow because she's not going to use it. She doesn't use the quiver. I use a quiver, so it's on mine. Or you can put a Taka camera or any kind of camera up there. And then you got Tim and Pat who operate the Hunter's Outlet. That's where all the crossbows are. That's where you go in and pick one up, shoot it, or they restrict, or do they do stuff? I mean, they're fantastic people to talk to. I called them wanting to hold one for me while I got up there and bought it, but I never made my trip up there, and I'm kind of sorry I didn't, but then again, money talks and everything else that came down, I had to do what I had to do. And then, of course, I never met the gentleman, but it's Bryan Flattery, and I saw him on YouTube. He's kind of a tall guy. Does an outstanding job. He shows hunting, and he actually went out and used the crossbows to hunt. He showed us many other features with another guy that had the same kind of nice shirt that I got on, this 10 Point one that I got from Amazon. I like it. So, how did me and my wife choose the 10 Point Siege RS410? Well, while we were visiting 10 Point, I got a couple catalogs, yes. And I gave one to my friend Bob, who actually started all this 10 Point business with me several months ago. In here you have many descriptions of the different crossbows, and I'll show you there. But the one that I have, and I'm going to show it to you up close here. Look at all the scribbling and dibbly stuff that I did. I took notes on there as far as the size, 26.5 inches from here to the buttstock, right? I did the, however wide it was, 7.5 inches wide, but that's only from the center tips of these things. It's really a compact bow to the point where I don't have my glasses on, but it's the broadhead, or the bolts, 16-inch. And let me tell you what, I shot them already, and we're going to put it at the end of this video. When they hit the target, they made a bang, and they actually went through my target to the point where I had to push it back out from the other side, and that target's rated for 400 feet per second, and these things went right through it at 20 feet. And I actually put one right behind the other without a Robin Hood, but they pushed them both through, so I had to push them back out dead center of my target, which I really love. And I did that by making a few adjustments. I think it was 10 clicks down, 2 clicks to the right, and I'm dead center of the bullseye, and you'll see the picture right here, hopefully, or to my side. I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. So anyway, I did all these calculations, and of course it came down to the price. I got the graphite colors. I like them. Deer don't know color, so it don't matter to me. The camouflage color one, the veal, whatever they call it, that's $100 more. And I really didn't want to see it. And of course, with my catalog, I got the price sheet for all the other accessories. I'm going to buy some more bolts, and then I'm going to buy the Alpha Bite bolts that actually light up when you do it. So those are a plus factor. Other things that came with this crossbow, I got to reach over here, are these little pads. There's 2 in here, and they come with the screws and everything. I couldn't figure out what they were, and they're extension pads for the buttstock. And I show you, my wife, and we're going to get close to here in a second, she has the standard one. I didn't up hers because she's short. I got a little bit longer reach, so what I did is I put them both on here, and then I put the butt pad back on. So the other reason for the 10 point is you can see I can hold it really close, look through my scope, and this is why I have the extended butt pad, because I can't see through the scope, put my eyes way up here, but right there, it's nice and clear. Reticles can go red or green, depending on your choice, and no, of course you have your elevation and your windage. And like I said, very compact. I'm able to hold it steady, and I think, man, this is really, really super nice. So I'm going to have to adjust this thing a little bit, move it forward, I think, a little bit, but for the most part, I'm very happy with this crossbow. And I cannot tell you how much we've been waiting patiently to get them in. They were back ordered. But that's okay. But on top of the crossbows, hey, you got to carry them with something. And I think I did a review on this already. But the Halo backpacks that we bought earlier. My wife's quiver sits in here. Her junk sits in here and all that stuff. And all you do is put it on your back, buckle it up, go to your stand or wherever you need to go. The quiver, it's unique. And I will tell you, it holds 6 bolts. And of course, obviously, I have 3 in here because that's all we got right now. But you can put 6 bolts in here if you want to and take them with you. If I can't get the deer with 3, I'm not going to worry about it. My wife just wants to keep the 3 in there with the broadheads, etc. And anyway, these are very, very good. I like them. I will tell you, I don't know what I would do with them or without them, but I put the quiver on mine. The wife just keeps hers in the backpack. And, that's her prerogative. This is her style, her way of hunting. And like I said, you can put the quiver right here in the side pocket. If I can get it open with my hands. Throw it back in the side pocket. Throw whatever else you want in there. Waters, sodas, or whatever you decide to take to the stand. That is strictly up to you and how you want to do it. Tomorrow I'm going to be practicing here with the wife to show her how to cock it, decock it, and do all the fundamentals that you need to get used to it inside. And that's the other advantage that we have, that we bought this crossbow. I don't need a decocking bolt anymore. So, on that note, hold it. I'm going to move the camera just a little closer. I'm not a videographer, by the way. I do still photography. That's my cup of tea. I love my Bog Death Grip, by the way. So here's the mechanism that makes it actually decock and cock, the Accu Slide. It's a great invention. I think they did a great job on making it. The crossbow itself is there, but all you have is these little tabs, one on each side. It doesn't matter which one you want to use. Hold it upside down, and you can let it go all the way forward, right? And then you'll hear it click. It's in safe. Your trigger mechanism is in safe. So then all you have to do is pull out the handle. It's a little tight, and I'll tell you why it's a little tight. when you walk through the woods, you don't want to drop this thing. My wife, she's probably just going to keep it in her backpack, but putting it in the buttstock, they made it a little tight so it doesn't fall out. So you have to use a little bit of muscles, but that's okay. That's what it's all about. So now with that in, you got the little knob to push in to insert it in the cocking mechanism. So as I'm cocking it, as you can hear, what's that noise? You don't hear anything. You don't hear anything cocking at all. And here, watch this. You can let go of it, scratch your eyeball if you need to, point at a deer, look through the binoculars, whatever you want to do. It doesn't move. When I did my Wicked Ridge Rampage 360, it came back and hit me in the fingers and about hurt like hell. And you can't decock it. So anyway, as you're cocking it, it's going to come all the way back. And by the way, the handle can extend out or leave it in. It's up to you. I leave mine out, give me a little bit more leverage, right? My wife says it's a little hard, but then again, she's just got to get used to it. So, oh, you hear the click. Now, back it off 2 turns. Push the little lever underneath your grip here and do 1 more turn, right? And then you put it back in the buttstock. So, like everybody else, it's all set to shoot if you want to shoot it. So, at the end of the day, I didn't get a deer, I didn't get my turkey. It doesn't matter whatever I'm hunting, right? I take my bolt out to the front and I put my bolt back down on the ground. Unlike my Wicked Ridges or any other of the crossbows, I'd have to put a decocking arrow in here and shoot it out the door of my stand and then exit my stand. Some people carry little targets. They take the bolt out and then you go down and put the bolt back in and shoot the targets. I ain't carrying a target downhill. Second thing is, the decocking anti-dry fire mechanism that's on this thing is fantastic. I don't care what crossbow it's on. I used it twice by accident and it works. It saved my string and it just cocks. All you do is recock it, right? So, on that note, I didn't hit anything. So let's go ahead, take it back. Got to take that turns you took back out, put a little tension off of it, right? And then you'll feel it. Okay, I got it back as far as I can. Push on them little levers right here, these right here. And before I do that, I mentioned this in the shooting video too. The little window right there will show you the latching, the silver piece, and when the bar hits it, it locks in. It's unique. It's a patent, I think, to 10 Point. So anyway, push forward on it, bring it back, release it, and then you start decocking it. And just like you do when you're cocking it, you can scratch your ears or whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. Now I can return it back into the safe position, no tension on my string, which is good. You don't want tension on your string, right? I watched the video and they said you can actually leave it just like it is right now in your case or whatever you want to do, take it back out tomorrow, recock it. You don't have to take the slide mechanism off all the time. But we're going to do that just for this video purposes and my purposes. I don't ever like anything out. In your handle, you got a little metal rod. On the front of the crossbow, there's a hole right in front of the mounting hole. Take your slide, put it on fire, right? Reach up in there. As you get it in there, you'll feel it go click, slides back. And then you can take your tool, put it back in the hole, get ready to do whatever you got to do. At this point, you got to push down on the 2 silver knobs up here and release the decocking, the anti-dry fire. Once it's free, then you can go ahead and take up the slack, right? Cocking it, not decocking it, but cocking it, right? And just kind of, I kind of got it because it's sitting in the air, but if you're steady in the air, as you can see, you just sit there and spin it until it comes back and locks. It doesn't matter. It comes back, and then once it's back, once again, you'll hear it lock in place. Back it off 2 turns, push the button, and back it off again. And return your handle to the buttstock. Collapsing it, placing it in the hole, locking it, and pushing it in. And that's all there is to decocking and cocking it. The scope. Let's talk a little bit about the scope. Besides, I told you, illuminates red or green. Your windage knob, your windage and elevation, excuse me. The scope is set for the feet per second on yours. Remember, mine is 410, so my scope is at 410, right? So that means that at 410, that this thing is traveling the way it should be in the right directory. If you put it on 360, it's going to probably drop a little bit. If you put it any higher, it'll probably raise. It matches, your scope matches the feet per second. Watching the videos on this, like I said, the crossbow experts and stuff, they fired the crossbows. It said 410, it was 410. There was no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And I said, I've covered everything about the cases and how we come about to getting these crossbows the way it is. I recommend 10 Point. It's an excellent brand. Like I said, made in the United States. Customer service is top notch. The bow itself is top notch. It's short, it's sweet. It makes it easier for me to sit in the stand. It's very quiet. And my wicked ridges, you could hear it click, 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 right? No big deal. I usually cock it before the deer get there. It's not a big deal. But in this case, if I get to the stand early, or if I'm on my way to the stand, I see them, I can slowly and do it quietly if I don't make any motion to disturb them and get in a shot where I can do it. And I've already showed you the extension pads that came with this thing, the bolts that came with this, the quiver came with it. The packaging, I've never seen a box. It comes together just like you see right here. All you have to do is put the scope on and mount your Piccatelli rail up front and then mount your quiver. That's up to you. That's all you have to do. There's not much to it. It comes as is, out of the box, put the scope on it, ready to shoot. And when you put the scope on correctly, at 20 yards, you shoot your target, and then from there you would adjust it to the bullseye, drop back. They say 45 yards, I only had 30. So at 30 yards, I put it dead center, because that's the most I'm ever going to shoot, probably at the deer anyway, 30, 35. I don't think I'm going to reach out to 50. I do know for a fact that this thing will hit the bullseye at 50. I've shot it at 50. Not this particular one, but any of the 10 Point brands will hit the target at 50. So ladies and gentlemen, this will conclude the inside tour of this thing, and stay tuned right now for the outside shooting experience. And that's fun because I sweat I really sweat out there, and it is hot. So ladies and gentlemen, the next video is going to be a special one. I can guarantee you my friend Bob will be in it, and his new crossbow and this crossbow. We'll be talking more about the crossbows, but Bob is the one that got me started in this, and I tell you what, I couldn't ask for a better friend and a better person to help me find something I'm not used to with shooting crossbows, or any bow to be exact. So thank you for watching. I'm going to thank you again at the end, I'm sure, but I do appreciate your thumbs up or your thumbs down. I got a thumbs down the other day for my camera review. Whatever the reason was, I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I'm doing it for fun. I don't get paid by anybody. I'm not sponsored. I'm just a common person wanting to express to you, you know, a good value when you find it. If you can afford it, and it doesn't have to be the $1,700 or $1,800 version of the Siege RS410, it could be the $600 Wicked Ridge with the Yaku Draw, or the ACU 50, whatever one you want, depending on the price you want to pay, plus maybe a little bit less on the other ones. I'm not sure. I'm not pricing them because I'm not interested in them, but for the most part, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. I might make another video in a couple days with me and the wife outside shooting these things. I think that'll be fun just to, you know, hear it. And like I said, when you hear this thing release, it's pretty much quiet, but when it hits that back target, you'll hear it go bang. So that's a hell of a hit, hell of an impact. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and I hope you enjoy the videos. So anyway, I got it cocked. I got the bolt in here, keeping my fingers free because you don't have the limbs sticking out like you do the other ones. Just keep it in front, so in case it comes out, be safe. So my target's right there. It's about 30 yards. I'm going to sight in with it there with my hole. Take it off safe. Did you hear that bang at the end when it hit that target? I'm going to need a new target. This thing illuminates also, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot to tell you about that. The scope has a red and a green illumination on it, so the dots will light up once I put a battery in there. I can't speak highly enough of 10 Point right now. I mean, really, I'm super excited. I get tongue-tied right now. I'm a little nervous about it because I want to do good with this company. I want to do good with this bow. And these people are so fantastic, and how I had to go through my selection process, why I didn't go to 10 Point to go shoot them and play with them, because I already did. I shot them earlier with Mr. Woods and a couple people up there. We had fun, and we spent our few hours up there. But what I'm really looking forward to is hunting season. It's coming up when we come back from our national bike rally, and I look forward to that. I look forward to doing more videos on this, hopefully when it's a little cooler. Right now it's like 90 degrees out here and I'm sweating beans and bullets. You can see my shirt's changed colors by now. But I wanted to give you a little review of the 10 Point Siege RS410. There's a lot of reviews. Like I said, Lancaster Archery does a great review. Crossbow Experts did a great review, and there's other people that do it. But not a whole lot on the real Siege. But here, like I said, I mounted the scopes. I'm fixing to go inside the house and get my fire through the scope camera mount so I can check it out and zero it in over there on my target. The tools on here you need, decocking it is easy, cocking it is easy. It's probably the simplest thing around. It's compact enough to hold it and shoot, and I'll do that when I get to the stand. But right now for targeting and trying to find a bullseye, in which I'll show you a picture up here. A couple shots after I zeroed it in, it took me 10 clicks down and 2 clicks to the right, and phew, that bad boy was dead center of that target, and I cannot complain. The first 2 arrows at 20 yards went through my target. This has a lot of power, 410 feet per second. The weight is still 7.5 pounds, but once again, it's light. You can hold it tight. Let me show you this up here right now. What I wanted to show you, and I can't really get too close, if you look in the little hole right there, you'll see the metal gauge and lock, and that's what you want to do, right? So this is my first ever attempt to shoot this thing free-handed, because I've been only using the bog, and that's what I usually like to do. So I'm going to put my wife's crossbow to test here. Alright people, let's go ahead and put one down range and see what happens. That is amazing. Steady, whew, light. Well, not really light, but look, I'm tight. Just like I would shoot a rifle, I am tight on the money on that one bag. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do recommend 10 Point. I don't care if you buy the Wicked Ridge series, which are excellent series. You buy the Viper, you buy the Havoc, you buy the Vapor. Whatever crossbow you decide, you have to go where your wallet goes. I paid, because this is the graphite finish, right around 17 something. Okay, it came with the bolts, it came with the scope, really great scope. I can't complain. Everything I need is there, except for the deer. I got to get them out there so I can shoot them. So I'm sweating already. I do apologize. If this video doesn't look good, I'll probably redo it again anyway. But and we'll go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I know this is a hurried up video, but I'll probably redo another one too. So thank you.